My dogs, we're back. The dogs known as under promise, over deliver. Jody, you are sitting butt naked. I guess you are right now a bit confused that you were recording content for your own bonus page or OnlyFans page because this is the
Yeah,
podcast.
I was just shooting some stuff from the OnlyFans, and you rang me and said, "Do you fancy doing the podcast?" And I said, "Give us 5 minutes. I just got to finish some extra content. My subscribers for £2.99 expect to see some big things. Some
Yeah.
and some good stuff." And while I was at it, I thought I better get a new profile picture for my grinder as well. So
What's
kind of
going
ticking
on
off.
with the no shirt outfit? Have you got your heating
Um,
on 30 degrees?
No, I was actually cooking salmon, and the frying pan spit sometimes, and it's ruined a t-shirt of mine before. So I thought I'll sacrifice getting spat on bed on my skin than I will ruining a t-shirt. So kind of went topless for it, mate. That's the kind of risks that I take when I cook salmon. I'll stand there in front of the frying pan. I'll make sure the
I
salmon is
know that's not
perfectly
the
cooked.
risk. That's because you wear these Burberry shirts. You know, the Prada brother or the Burberry brother, and then he
Don't
doesn't
want to
want to
get
waste a shirt on a salmon.
Yeah, don't want to get oil spat on it because you can't get them. Once that spits on it, mate, I've ruined a few shirts, and you can't get it out. That's it. You've just got this horrible mark that looks like it's been that is wet and it's just stuck on the t-shirt, and you're like, oh man, I've just screwed a t-shirt. So I'll risk the skin, mate. I'll go skins for it.
I am flying tomorrow to Cozumel, and hopefully I won't be in a world of shit. So I've just listened to the extra episode, Jody, on our Patreon channel. So if you want to support the show, head on to the link in our description. You can become a friend of the show where um, we, as of now, we have been overpromise, underdeliver, but changed ourselves into underpromise, overdeliver. Posted up the first extra episode with Max Stapley and what can you expect in the future. That is at least one episode a month. And that is a Q&A with Jody, where the patrons send in any questions, as long as it's reasonable. We're doing
Just make
workout
just just
sessions.
just make sure the questions are recorded by voice because I struggle to read and I might not be able to get back to you on that.
Alrighty, Joe. We got the workout of the week that we're posting on there, and the Max Stapley Triathlon Mockery Pro will feature some of the extra episodes where he will be sharing his knowledge about swimming as well.
Yeah, no. Who said that New Year's resolutions are just for the new year? We've got out early. We're ahead of the game, aren't we? And we're change men now. It's coming to November, and me
Yeah,
and Tom thought we need to get some new content out on the patrons, keep them happy. I mean, how many messages of did we have of disapproval when you checked? You actually said it made you a bit sad when you had a little check on there, didn't you?
yeah. Yeah, I did. But also, Jody, I'm like on the flipping skyline of back in my confidence level, and I got out from the gutter, and I'm back amongst the champions and the dogs. And that's also what I needed to be back for all the content and the travel mockery videos. I remember last year that I wanted to fly out to Kona, and remember you wanted to fly me out and help you out with training, and I just said, mate, I can't. I'm in a world of shit. But that's one thing that we need, and that's back in the game. And you have got some great news as well.
Yeah, I have. I've actually done all the tests, and they've all come back positive. Last one was the other day. I was literally walking into the pub, and I got a call from like a random number. You know when people hold their numbers, you can't see, and I thought, oh,
Yeah,
should
yeah.
I answer this? It's probably a scam. Answered it, luckily, and it was one of the doctors from the hospital. It's like
Hello,
quarter
this
to
is a
five.
doctor from
Yeah, that
from
was literally
Nigeria. You won $1
Yeah,
million.
yeah, that's what it sounded like, to
What
be
about the
honest.
test? Test is
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, it was actually what he sounded like. He said, "Can you make it? Can you make it? Can you get to the hospital for 7 p.m.? We can get you. We can get like you a CT scan." I said, "Yeah, all right." So got there for 7 p.m. and did my last test. They put like some liquid in you, and I don't know, check to see if you got any aneurysms. Came back all clear. So they've all been clear, and they said basically you can just crack on. Like you're fine. Um, So that was good. Obviously, he's taking it a bit easy anyway because I might as well have a couple of weeks off because it's such a long time now until the racing. You don't want to go full on now, do you? And then be burnt out by the time March, April comes around. So I'll just take it easy for another 10 days and then, or week, 10 days, and then I'm going to crack in. I mean, I'm still training. I'm still training like once a day, but I'm not like smashing it 3 sessions. Do you know what I mean?
When you were so you were sitting down at the bar ordering a nice dark Belgian beer, and the doctor rang up and said, "Mate, you are free of sorrows and it's all good." Did for a second cross your mind Ironman Cozumel with the mozzarella?
Well, no, he rang me as I was going into the pub to say, "Can I make it to the hospital to do the checkup in 2 hours, not to give me the results?" That was literally like to do it. So I was like, "Oh," well, so I was like, I didn't actually get a Belgian beer. I got an amaretto sour. Would you say that that's like a man's drink or a bit of a fanny's drink?
Amaretto sour. No, that sounds kinky. I would
Yeah,
order one of that. It's all about the mood of the evening, isn't it?
yeah,
It's all
it
about
was
the mood of
nice.
the evening.
So I had that, had some dinner, then went to the hospital, did the checkup, and then they gave me the results like an hour in it. Like I was waiting there for an hour. They gave me the results, and then
Mm-hmm.
came back home. It was all good.
Yeah.
That was it. I got a couple of lows though, mate. Like I'm being chased by bloody everyone. I got the bloody endless pool guy chasing me for money.
What?
Uh,
Why? 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 I remember
oh
you doing this
mate,
video about that guy.
mate, he did an absolute shocking job. Like Oceanus 8 pools in bloody Lincolnshire. He's like an absolute cowboy, mate. He's been like hounding me the whole time, and he wants like 3 grand for some of the installation fee that he did. The pool's a wreck. The bloody thing doesn't even like cover thing doesn't even stay on, so you can't even open the pool by yourself. That pool is the bane of my life. I wish I never got that. I would have been better off taking the money for the pool, going to the casino, putting it on red, crossing my fingers, hoping it came on, and if it didn't, I would have still been in just as shit position as I am now, even if I lost.
Yeah,
And if I
but
won, I'd have been quids
apart
in.
from the shit position, you would had neighbors where you could actually shake your hands
Yeah,
with and drink a
so I would
coffee
have been
with.
in. So I would have been in a better position because even if
You
I lost,
sacrificed the whole neighborhood for that
yeah.
pole.
So even if I lost putting it in the casino, I would have been in a better position because my neighbours would have actually liked me. And if I won, well, then I would have been in a fantastic position and it would have been absolutely awesome. So it would have been a win-win. So
Yeah,
that pool is the bloody bane of my life. Then I've got British Triathlon hounding me for
but wait,
£243.
for, before we go on, did you go to, settle at court with that guy?
Yeah, I did, mate. I did. Like literally the race week of Lake Placid. And
But
like
where's
it,
this? Where's the 3 grand all of a sudden coming from? If it's settled at
because
court?
they added loads of interest on and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
really? And what did
yeah,
what did the judge say back in the den? Back in the day, he can't like make up something all of a
yeah.
sudden.
Well, that's the weird thing. So he added. I think I got totally rolled because I said to him, "I'll give you the money for it before it went to court," and he said, "I want the money and I want a 10% late payment fee." I said, "I'm not going to give you the 10% late payment fee because you wouldn't." He wouldn't reply to me about what all these other charges were that he added on. He added on about another 600 quid over what was supposed to be on there.
Yeah.
So that was why I wasn't paying him because I was asking him why these extra charges are there. Anyway,
Yeah.
we go to court. We have like I say court. It was a Mickey Mouse video call. I was in bloody New York, like
Mickey
Lake
Mouse.
Placid, yeah, ready to do the thing. He was somewhere else, and it came down to the final bit. Like it came down to loads of things. He lied about the price of the pump. They said that he shouldn't have done that because he told me it was going to cost 20 quid. He charged 100. He charged 150 quid on the thing, so I won on that. He won on transporting it to me, which I think I got screwed over because he charged like 3 grand to install it and then wanted an extra 600 quid to get it to me. I thought, well, that would cover the installation fee anyway. He won on that bit. And then the final bit, she said, I won on him adding a 10% late payment fee because wasn't in the small print. So you can't just add on random late payment fees willy nilly. So she said I won on that. And that for me meant that in my mind, I should have won the whole thing because the only reason I hadn't paid him the money is because I wanted to pay him, but I didn't want to pay the extra 10% late payment fee, which is an extra 450 quid. Plus he was adding interest on. So she said I won on that. And then she said, I lost because I hadn't paid him any money up until that date. And I said, well, I hadn't paid him any money because he wouldn't take it. Like I wanted to pay him 3,200 quid. I got all the emails. So she said he won despite that reason. And then she added 10% interest, which was funny enough, the same as the late payment fee on because she said that was the interest that I need to pay on top of the money that I owed him.
This is what
So
the
it
judge
ended.
said.
What's that? This is what the judge said. So I ended up getting totally screwed. But like, I would definitely not recommend getting an endless pool from that guy. He's the biggest waste of space. Like, the
I
pool was
reckon,
6 months
yeah, I
away.
reckon if the judge has said it, then he's just thinking I was in my right. So here you go, Jody. Here's the
Yeah, honestly, I would never get an endless pool again. I think it's the
no.
biggest crock of shit I've ever spent money on. I'd rather just I could have paid for a flipping taxi, limousine to take me to the pool every time I wanted to go. Like at least
Yeah,
that'd be.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the amount it costs to swim in that pool if you heat it up, I literally could probably hire a Porsche every day I wanted to go for the swim. Like, say I was swimming twice a week, I could drive there in a 911, and it would cost me less than the heating pool, than the amount of money to heat that flipping thing. Anyway, that's one low, but whatever, I got to do it anyway.
Who would you recommend getting an endless pool?
So if you live in a temperature where you don't have to heat it, and if you're extremely desperate to swim, other than that, hype is overhyped. You know, we bullshit bust stuff. I would say it was a bullshit buster. It's one of them things that you think is fantastic to have, and then you actually have it and you don't use it that much, and you end up spending a bomb on it, and then you're like, actually, I shouldn't have bothered doing it. You know, I should actually. That's probably why you see quite a few of them come up for sale, because people, the idea of it's fantastic, but then when you get it, you're like, actually, I'd just be
And
better
it's
off just going to the
boring, isn't
pool.
it? Swimming is boring anyway, but this is like you're on a treadmill.
Yeah,
Like
it's more fun. It's more fun going to the pool. The only highlight of it is you can see your technique in the mirrors. That's the only good. That's the only good thing. Other than that, it's more fun turning up to the pool and swimming with people. But anyway, I'll keep going on about this thing all night, so I'll go on something else. But then I've got British Triathlon, another one. Literally, I'm getting the whole thing come to me. I'm getting bloody British Triathlon here. I'm getting Oceanus pools. I'm getting flipping Bailiff's going to be coming around my house. You know, carting me off.
who's Bailiff?
God, yeah, that's what they'll be getting, won't they? They're called bailiffs. They literally come in your house, take your TV out, don't they? Sell it
Oh
if you get
right,
the
these.
money.
All right, all right, all
Yeah.
right. That's
So I
a
got
bit.
flipping British Triathlon hounding me saying I owe 243 quid for an entry fee for flipping Ibiza race that I did, you know, the long course worlds. And
And
I'm thinking, how
Ibiza was
flipping,
the professional long course world
yeah, I'm
championship.
like, how flipping tight are you guys? You know, you got an elite team, you send elite athletes to races, and then you get them to pay their own flipping entry. It's like, what sport in the world sends the elite athletes to a race and expects them to pay the whole entry? I mean, can you imagine if you had like, let's just say, I don't know, flipping Federer, you know, he's turned up to Wimbledon. Hey, Roger, you need to. We're not going to let you play on centre court today unless you pay us £240 for your entry into the stadium. You know, you don't get like swimmers, do you? Turn up to a swim race. I heard
But it,
even some of the elite team even has to buy their own tri suit. Even the short course Olympic team to go and compete for British Triathlon. Then in the meantime, they've got 80 people on their books that they're paying that don't do bugger all. And if it
what do
ain't
you
for the
mean, 80
athlete,
people on the books? They've got 80
80
people working at British Triathlon.
80 members of staff apparently working there doing bugger all.
80?
80 people, yeah. The only reason they get funding is because they're supposed to be paying the short course well, they're supposed to be paying for athletes to get good results to encourage people to do the sport, which is supposed to get more people into grassroots and get more people active. That's the only reason they get money in the first place for funding. Yet the
Hmm.
athletes seem to get bugger all, and all the pen pushers get a shitload of money. She's saying, "I ain't going to give you a pro license if you don't pay it." I'm thinking,
So
well,
you have to, so if you don't pay your 240 euro or dollar
£243, €270,
pounds
she says, or
uh,
something.
uh, registration fee for the long course last year, you will be racing as an age grouper in the 35 to 39 category for Ironman next year. That
If
is
I
what
want
you're
to race,
saying?
basically, yeah, if I want to race under a British Triathlon license, unless I pay the money, we're in a bit of a hold off at the moment. It's like a cowboy and Indian. Do you know what I mean? Like, neither person wants to back down. Like, you know, I'm in the old pub, you know, where you go through the wooden doors with the gun, like holding off the enemy. She's trying to get in and get the money. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying you. So we're on a bit of a
Yeah.
standoff at the moment. This has been going on since April. And she's the latest reply today was, you pay us for the entry, or we don't give you a pro. We're not going to let you give you a letter for your pro license. So I'm looking at my options at the moment, and I'm thinking I quite fancy racing under a USAT pro license. You know, I race in America. You know what it's like. You race in America, and you have to pay a
But
USAT day
is it
license fee.
really how can you race under a USAT license?
Because anyone can get a triathlon license. It doesn't mean that I'm racing for that nationality. I could get a Holland license if I wanted to. I could get a Dutch license, like triathlon license.
But you can also get a professional American license.
Well, no, so I get a USAT license, and then because I'm a member of United States, whatever it is, triathlon, I just contact them and say, "Hey guys, can I get a pro license?" They write a letter saying, "Yeah, we'll give you a pro license," and I get a pro license. I've got my membership, and I for USAT. See you later, British Triathlon. I'm
Fucking
gone.
hell,
I'm out of
Jody
here,
Skipper from Oklahoma racing for
mate.
racing for the United States next year.
I've got, it reminds me of that it reminds me of like that Conor McGregor thing where he's like backstage, I'm pissing off everyone, I'm starting fights and stuff. I just feel like I've got so many people sending me stuff like trying to claim me. I feel like bloody hell, like I'm getting everyone coming after me at the moment. There's pools, there's British Triathlon, there's probably going to be something else tomorrow. Like honestly, like it's like World War III, mate. When I look through my inbox. Um,
Yeah. Oh, that would stress me out. Uh, yeah, I once had this with a swim club where I was a member of. That
Really?
when I signed up back in 2018, I was still a student, and I think I graduated in 2019. But then I still had the same membership. And then in 2021, they were like, "Hey, are you still a student?" I said, "No, I haven't been a student since 2019." So they said, "All right, so you need to pay normal membership since 2019. We want to pay you. We want you to pay back something like 400 euros." And I was like, "I ain't gonna do that. Like, it's your responsibility to check if someone's still valid for this." And it wasn't even under their terms and agreement as well. Normally if you sign up for a club, you get terms and agreements about payment and all that. But in the end, they wanted to take it to court, and I was thinking like,
They
"Oh,
want to take it
these
to court.
sad." Yeah, and he wanted to put it in a newspaper as well. And so, you
Rogue
know what?
pro triathlete won't pay us the
Well,
£400.
I will tell you the harsh bit. So I've been swimming back in the days with a homosexual, gay, lesbians, and friends swim club. It's not a joke. This is honestly true because they had awesome times. They're like
You only
fully.
go there because you like picking up the soap, mate, in the showers, and it comes with some nice little extras, don't you?
I
That's
was
why
like
you
the
go
I
there.
was like the happy young little wine gum
I bet you
hovering
were in the
around.
change rooms. I bet you were real happy.
I
I bet
was
you
a
always
treat
left
to
with.
the eyes for them boys.
Yeah, I bet you left. I bet
But
you left
anyway,
every swim session with a smile on your face.
he he started to threatened me with putting a something in the newspaper that I wouldn't pay my share to a gay swimming club, and I thought this guy is fucking sick in his head. Like, why would you put something like that in the newspapers? I don't know, but in the end I paid the fee because I didn't want any of the hassle. I was like, all right, see you later.
You could have just told him
But
to come after me. I'll add it to the pile.
yeah,
Um,
but some people are just crazy. Like I don't all this hassle. Anyway, I've got a high, and then we can go over to the main subject of the week. Flipping awesome training session that I've done on Saturday and Tuesday.
what was the Saturday one then?
Whilst I had again 3 flat tires, and people like, "No, have you checked your rim tape? Have you checked your outer tube? What tubes are you running?" Yes, I'm not a flipping noob.
Do you get that from a lot of people then?
A shitload of people that are like trying to be bike mechanics. Listen, the only reason why you never have a flat, if you're listening and you feel like this is a message to you, is because you don't ride in the piss and rain for 4.5 hours. I rode 400k last week in absolute piss and rain. And then the chance of getting a flat tire is pretty big, especially if you've got like a lot of shit on the road. Isn't it,
To
Joe?
be I don't know, mate. To be fair, I'm one of them soft people that doesn't ride in the rain.
Are you? I thought you always rode in the
Oh
rain.
no, I'm a bit soft, mate. I'm a bit soft now.
Are
Having
you for real?
having kids changes you, mate. Changes you.
You don't really ride on Swift as well. But anyway, I had 3 flat tires. Yes, there was but I had a good session. I had normalized 300 or 290 watts over almost 4 hours. So I was like, wow, that is a confidence booster for Cozumel.
What did you
And
do
then,
then? Did you just like
uh,
smash it for 4 hours? Like, what was you doing for
but
that?
yeah, we were riding with a group, and basically, if I was riding on the front, I would just ride between 320 and 340, 50 watts, something like that. And
What?
it could
Why are you
just,
riding
I
so
had
hard
like,
in
I
training?
had like sugar legs, so I could like go on for hours and hours. I was really surprised, and I thought
What?
like I'll just keep pushing until I
What?
wanted to see. Sorry.
Why are you riding so hard in training for the Ironman though? Like, there's no point riding at them intensities. Like you've got your draft coach
Well,
Yuri Kulin helping
I
you, your
know.
race tactician. You're only going to be needing to put
No,
out
but you might be
230.
mistaken. You might be mistaken because there is a chance that I do miss a pack on the swim, And in that
Oh yeah,
case, I need to chase the bunch up. So
yeah.
before I get into the draft zone, first I need to ride onto it. So, and that's one thing. And then yesterday, actually wanted to ride 100 Ks with a couple of efforts, but then I had like my third flat tire, what I was just talking about, and I was just so scarred that I wanted to go back home because I didn't have any other spare tubes. So I went home after, so I had 60 Ks and I did a 15K run off the bike, 3 by 5K at 350K pace.
That's pretty solid.
That's
And
solid.
what was the rest in between?
One was 40 seconds and one was something like 50 seconds,
All right, so it was
49.
almost basically 15k continuous,
So,
pretty much. Then,
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
did you what did you do for the rest though? Did you just literally just stop for 50 seconds and just carry on again?
Yeah,
And you had Tom Decker pumping out the tunes, did you,
exactly.
while you were running?
Yeah,
Like he's your techno, isn't he? What
he's
were you
my
playing?
team.
What were the beats that got you through it?
I've got this list. It's called Running Rep God, so I didn't feel like Celine Dion this
What?
day. I
I
know.
used to play the rap stuff, and I used to get no end of abuse for that. Like, you used to take the piss out of me all the time, and you'd want the 80s, like George Michael. I remember that coming on, like Careless Whispers. That's one of his, isn't it? That he used to play Celine
I don't know.
Dion.
Can you sing a little phrase?
Guilty Feet ain't got no rhythm. Like that one.
I don't
I
know.
can't sing it.
I
I'm a
need.
terrible singer. I can't sing. I need to hear it. Like, but I'm a terrible. Uh, but like Shania Twain, I feel like a woman. I remember that being one of
Yeah,
yours as well.
that's an absolute banger.
Yeah. And now you're
Anyway,
telling me
yeah,
you've got bloody rap god on.
yes, Rap God. That's the list called Running Rap God, but
Running
it's all
rap
like
god.
classic rap.
I might listen to that tomorrow.
I'll send you the list. It's an awesome list, like only bangers. Yeah, so I'm packing my bag. Maybe that's a good main subject of the week. What to pack for a race?
What does a lifestyle athlete pack for an Ironman?
I
That's
don't know.
what
I've
we want
got
to
10
know.
bottles of wine, and I still need to fill in all the other stuff.
Are you actually packing a load of wine to take out there?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Oh.
No. No, I don't know. Just a shitload of nutrition. I've got Allen keys, race belt, goggles with all the mold, Vaseline, shitload of Vaseline. What else? What's like a swim skin? I'm not taking the wetsuit. No chance that's wetsuit legal. What are we forgetting? What's like a
um,
life hack to take on travel? I always take a tri suit in my on board luggage in case
yeah.
they fuck you over with your suitcase or your.
But if your suitcase has been screwed with your bike, you're screwed anyway.
Yeah, I know, but normally, not really because um, I would rent a bike.
But if it got to that point and you were just renting a road bike, you should just do it in something retro. Like just do it in like something like for a laugh. You should just do it in like a
Like the
normal
S
like
Grail.
short, just like yeah, just do it in like shorts and a Hawaiian top or something like that. Just something like
True,
purely for
true.
banter. Like I mean, you've done an Ironman in it. You've done an Ironman bike leg on a gravel bike with like nothing stopping you. This is just at least that would be nicer, wouldn't it? Being on a road bike in Hawaiian shirt than a
Yeah,
gravel bike in tri kit.
yeah, true, true, true. What else shouldn't I forget? Shitload of electrolyte tabs,
Does the mozzarella
SPF,
need that? You need SPF 50, mate, don't you?
and I've ordered these white sleeves, these newbie sleeves.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my god! Like you're doing like that reminds me of like Death Valley Marathon. You know the one where they run through Death Valley and finish it. You always see them wearing that kind of stuff.
Mate, I'm gonna wear it as well because the sun always lives in my skin.
What about your cameras? You forgot about your cameras. That you've brought some new fancy lenses. You showed me today.
Picking up the camera game, yeah, yeah. So see if I can get some cool shots in Cozumel, but
You should
also
get
for
some
next.
cool shots of the beer mile afterwards as well.
Yes, I wanted to talk about the beer mile because I am flying out with since a short couple of like a bit more than 10 days, Joe. I have got a girlfriend. I didn't even say that for I think on the podcast.
Well, you basically anyone that knows you knows that you only post pictures of her on your friend's one.
What do you
She
mean?
goes on well, like you know what I mean. Like he's got his Instagram and he's got ones that only go to friends, and pictures of his missus only goes to friends, and pictures of the bros goes on public. So like, if you're not his friends, you
because
never see the missus.
because
She's like well hidden.
that was because it was unofficial.
What? But you couldn't just show you that you were going out or dating someone that was unofficial. It was like, until we're official, I'm not putting you on my public Insta. You're only staying private.
So it's Instagram is a pure business platform. You know, I want to keep
You're
business
keeping it
business.
professional. Yeah,
Keeping it
you're the
professional.
consummate professional, aren't you?
No, I'll share a picture with her in Cozumel. She is absolutely stunning, mate. Um, but anyway, but she's coming along together with two friends of hers. So and one mate of mine. So with the five of us, and they want to move because they're already a week on flipping Cozumel where there is fuck all to do. They want to go as soon as possible after the race on Monday. So they want to leave Monday morning really early. And I'm in my tummy stuck with the beer mile.
So when are you going to do the beer mile then?
So I was thinking the day before the race.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Uh,
Yeah, I just don't know when to do the beer mile.
well, what time are you leaving on Monday?
Would you say people would even be up for it at like 11 a.m.?
Yeah. Like I said, Noel Mulkey, when he's done the Australian races, has been doing it at like 9 a.m. You just say 11 a.m. If you can make it, you can make it. So just do it at 11 then, and just pick a location. It's at 11 o'clock, and whoever turns up does it. I've done one in the morning before at one race. I had to do one quite early. Lake Placid, I had to do one at like 11 o'clock. I
All
will
right.
tell you, it was flipping rank, mate. Like the last thing you fancy doing after an Ironman is that, but like it
So
was.
if you're listening to this and you're racing Ironman Cozumel, 11 a.m. on Monday the 20th, there will be a beer mile close to the finish line somewhere.
That I came last in that one. What I did at 11 a.m. That was when I had that juice bomb. Can you remember me? Like I got screwed over by the guy in the
Yeah.
liquor store who said that was a real popular one, and it was possibly one of the worst beers I've ever had in my life. Actually, I wouldn't say possibly. It was definitively the worst beer I've ever had in my life.
What is something you always forget when you go out to a race that you always see yourself buying at like one of the expos or stressing out before a race?
Race helmet,
Race helmet?
yeah, bike shoes as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, sometimes like tri suit as well.
What do you mean? Basically everything. You just get your bike and your dad.
He gets lost at the airport himself as well. So sometimes he doesn't even make it there with the bike, like at the same
I
time as the
I know
bike.
that when you're stressed, your mind gets really foggy.
Yeah, I normally lose like my car keys or my wallet or something. I've actually do not know where my wallet is at the moment. That's actually I've been searching for that every so
Yeah,
often.
because if you had it, you would have paid all the people.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I would have paid you all, but I just didn't have my bank cards. I don't know where they are, and I couldn't. I'm ever so sorry.
um. Anyway, what did we want to talk about again as the subject? We just
We're
bespoke.
gonna do well. We're gonna do. We're in the process of doing some more training plans. We've got some decent things coming up. So we're gonna have a specific swim one, a bike one, a run one, and a triathlon one. The swim ones are gonna all the individual sports are gonna be like 4 sessions a week. So if you want to improve like one discipline, but you still want to do triathlon training, you could say buy one of these plans. Say like you buy the bike one, it'll have more of a bike focus, and then you could like put your swimming and run training in around it and just like kind of take them a bit easier and have a bit of a bike focus for 10 weeks or swim focus, whatever you wanted. Or if you didn't want to focus on one of the sports in particular, then you could just buy the triathlon plan, and that will have like, how many sessions do you reckon we'll do a week on that? 2 sessions a week, and if people want
We
to do
don't know
more,
yet,
they can
but
just add it
basically,
in.
what you're saying is, if people are looking for an off-season training plan while still getting in great quality sessions, there are some plans coming up soon.
And we had some success stories, didn't we, off the triathlon plan last time? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
guy that did the 9.5 hour Ironman off
Four
it.
four people going sub 10 with our plan.
And how many hours a week do you reckon it was? 10 hours? Something like
Yeah,
that?
12 to 13, something like
Do you
that.
reckon? There was
13.
3 hours was like the longest session,
Yeah,
I
but
reckon.
the little plan was something like 10 hours, 9 to 10 hours, and the bigger plan was in between 10 and 14. But you can make it
Was
10
it?
hours, if there's
Well,
also a long ride. On the weekend, there was something like in between 3 and 5 hours. Sometimes if we run a ride longer, but you could do it in 11 hours. Yeah,
Well, it was 3 hour ride normally. 4 hours was the max the ride got
yeah,
to, and it
hmm
was only 6 days of. There was one day up rest day every week, weren't there?
yeah, yeah.
So like, it wasn't like we're killing you. And yeah, sub 10 off that of 6 days, like not bad, is it? Most days only
Multiple
one session,
people, multiple people.
multiple people. There we go.
Anyway, I have got a sauna battle, Joe. I have got a
Oh,
sauna battle.
I love a
Have you
good
been in the
sauna
sauna
battle.
lately?
I go to the sauna after every swim. I was in there today, but I just can't do it. People that are started listening to this before I'd said about that battle that I had ages ago in the sauna. It fucked me big time, and I still haven't
Yeah,
recovered from it. Like I cannot push myself in the sauna now since I
dude.
lost
This
that
is
battle.
honestly, I'm not shitting you. What I had in Kona that I like do when I heat stroked and went to the intensive care,
Yeah,
700 meters before the finish line. Since then, I cannot really push myself to the absolute limit in hot races.
yeah. Like I just can't do it in the sauna now, and I stayed in there. For those that don't know the story, I was in there, and I thought I'm gonna take the next person that comes into the sauna. I'm going to have a crack and I'm not going to leave until they come. So I went in there and soon after, like literally within 30 seconds, some guy came in. So I'm in there. This sauna's flipping boiling. It's way hotter than a normal sauna. It's like 90 degrees. And I get in there. He's got a bottle of water. So I'm like, like if you're doing a sauna battle, you can't have a bottle of water. But if the person that you're taking on could have a bottle of water, that's fair game because they don't know
Yeah,
that you're competing against them. So I think, right,
because having water in the sauna is cheating.
yeah, so I think like 10 minutes and I've probably got this guy's number. Normally, I last about 7 or 8 minutes in there. Bearing in mind, it's after a swim set, so your core body temperature is normally pretty high anyway, isn't it?
Hmm
Coming out of all the excuses here. But anyway, gets to about 10 minutes and I'm like, right, I'm going to stay until 15 minutes and then that's it. He'll be out and I'll win. Gets to 15 minutes and I don't even dare make eye contact with this guy because I know if I make eye contact with him, he's going to know that I'm probably trying to stay in there longer than him. So I'm like looking down. I'm all like meek. Do you know what I mean? I'm like a mouse. I'm like not even looking at him. Gets to 18 minutes. I'm fucking dying. Like I'm boiling. Like I'm absolutely roasting. 19 minutes. And I'm like, he's got a crack. He's got a crack. And I see movement and he goes to get up, and I think yes, and he fucking sits on the top step. He goes from the bottom to the top after like 20
Were
minutes.
you were you sitting at the top yourself?
No, I was on the bottom step, and I saw him do that,
Wow,
and it,
that
that
is
was
a
like
cocky move.
you said that the double Garmin is a flex. That was a flex, and it fucking broke me, mate. When he did that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I just got out because I was like, and when I got out, when you like see stars in your eyes, I could see that. I was in a cold shower. I was a shell of a man. I was in a cold shower at David Lloyd trying to cool down. I couldn't cool down. I got changed. I'm sweating walking from the pool to the car. I'm in the car. I'm having to put the aircon on cool because I'm pouring with sweat, and
What?
it fucking ruined me, mate. Like, and I've still not recovered. That was about 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago.
2 years, and
Yeah,
it's only been 20 minutes in the sauna.
yeah, but I was like on the limit, mate. Like when you're on the limit, it doesn't matter, does it? Like,
Yeah. Wow. But anyway, I've got a sauna battle from this guy from a dog. So he says, in preparation for Ironman Cozumel, I just finished up a hard interval session on the treadmill. Went straight into the sauna. For reference, it's a small sauna. It's 2 meters by 170. So you can't even stand up.
bloody hell.
No, I think he means the length. The plan from the coach was 2 by 15 minutes with a short break in between. I'm about 5 minutes into the 5 minutes into the first sauna interval, and the door opens. 100 kg professional MMA fighter from Brazil enters and immediately says, "Is the sauna even on? Is it is it turned on?" But it was over 80 degrees in there. That's when I knew the Sauna Battle was on. He was already playing mind games before even sitting down, and I thought to myself, this is the ultimate battle of endurance versus power. It's a triathlete versus MMA fighter. So I'm repping the endurance world, and I can't lose. My first interval, 15 minutes, was nearly over, and my opponent starts to stretch and flicks his head. A few droplets of sweat flicker onto me and cry on the inside, but maintains my composure. The first 15 minutes is up, and he's still there. Being a triathlete, I follow the plan and let him have round one, but the match isn't over. I exit the sauna, and after a couple of minute breaks, I head back in for round two. But the thing is, when you head back in for round two,
Yeah,
you
that's
already
that.
started. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
it's
not. You
like
can't do that. You can't do that, can you? Anyway,
mm,
what does he say happens then? I would say
and also
MMA guys
for
got him.
like if you're already overcooked, the second time you're already going to be like overcooked really soon, aren't you?
And you can't. You're going in when that guy has already been in there the whole time. Do you know what I mean? Like you the rule is the sauna battle is they have to come in after you, don't they? Because they
Yeah.
don't know the competition's on. You know in your head. So you've already got that advantage. Anyway, what happens?
Anyway, he gets in. The MMA fighter has shown his dominance, but as he enters, he gets up and they sit side by side. This is where I ask him if he was a rugby player due to his cauliflower ears. Immediately, his response was that he was a professional MMA fighter. I think to myself, do I even want to beat this guy in a sauna battle? But then I decide to commit for all these endurance athletes out there. He starts to talk at a rapid pace about his career, but the heat is really getting to me. I'm barely taking in what he's saying to me, and instead start to contemplate whether this vessel is out of league. Anyway, um, this guy, oh, are you sure it's actually on? Using his own mind games against him. 30 seconds later, he exits. So, um, technically win, but the guy has been in there then for 30 minutes. He's an absolute weapon.
Yeah,
You know?
I would have been seeing stars by that point. Like if I was in the battle and I was, and I wish this guy who was like says that he was having the sauna battle and he was truly in the battle. If I was meant to stop after 15 minutes for 5 minutes and I was in the battle, I'd have been like, "Fuck this! I'm just going to do the whole 30 in one go, and I'm going to try and take this guy on and see." Do you know what I mean? And even
Yeah.
if you allow us to say 25 minutes, the battle was, or he went out after 17, then you just get out then, take your 5 minutes and just top off the rest with like 13 minutes, make it up. But if you're in the battle, the heat of moment, you have to go with it. He should have just gone for the whole 30 and see if he could put him away, shouldn't he?
So, what you're actually saying is that you are normally doing a heat prep before a race.
Me?
Yeah?
Well, I go in the sauna after every swim, yeah. Like, that's the perk, mate. That's like the treat. I don't know if I'd really say heat prep. Like, I don't really stay in there that long. I'm rubbish.
I see some professional cyclists doing or triathletes doing heat preps, and they're riding with like these key coats on indoors on the turbo training with the heating on 30. Did it ever cross your mind to do something like that?
I just do that, mate, to keep warm. You know what it's like in the winter training here. If you have the window open, you need that just to keep warm, don't you? Training at Holland and bloody Norwich, mate. It's grim in January, isn't it?
It is. It is. Have you got an Instagram post of the week or a bullshit buster?
I haven't got anything, mate. I've literally got nothing. I've done too many podcasts recently that I haven't got any fresh content to talk about like
Let's
that.
say the bullshit buster is the endless pool.
The endless pool. That is definitely a bullshit buster. Save your money, guys. Don't bother getting one. They look great. You won't use it, and you'll just waste a
If
shitload
you
of
want to
money and
improve
piss your
your
neighbours off.
swimming, spend $4 a month for extra episodes for the Triathlon Mockery, and get like swim tips from Max Stapley, who is first out of the water in short course, instead of buying a very expensive endless pool or whatever, like limitless pool, all these things that are
Yeah,
going
but
to you thousands and thousands of euros and won't make you faster.
in my defence, I did see that Lionel Sanders had an endless pool, and he's all right at swimming. So I thought, if it works for Lionel in the water, who says it wouldn't work for me? So I got one, and it hasn't worked for me. But we can't all be like Lionel. We can only live in hope.
Well spoken. I will see you next week, and we can do a pre-Cozumel brief.
See you later.
See ya.
I'll catch you
See
out
ya.
there. Bye.